This is Tom Grisak, and I'm here with Sean Elliott, our team leader. We're realtors with the Grisak Group up here in the Allen office, Keller Williams. So it's that time again, huh, Sean?
It is. Hard to believe it. We're already here.
Yeah, this is when, if you're a property owner and you live in Collin County, you'll be getting a statement from the Collin County Appraisal District on the value of your property in their opinion. And a lot of people just ignore it and they just go with what the county says. And then some people fight it every year. One of the reasons you might want to contest it is if you think they've overvalued your property, you're going to be paying more in taxes. So this is where we may or may not be able to help you. We do this every year. This is a free service. We don't charge people for this. You don't have to be a client of ours, but we will visit with you online and we'll come up with some comparables that hopefully we can find some comparables that will support your case if you think your property has been overvalued. So Sean is, every year, he kind of puts this all together and he has all the details on it. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Sean.
Sounds good. Yeah, thank you, Tom. So like Tom said, this is something that we do free charge every single year. We started this probably, 4 or 5 years ago, something like that. And we've just always gotten a really good response to it. People wanting to reach out and just see if the county's come up with a realistic number. And so we're happy to do that. These meetings are pretty quick, usually 10 to 15 minutes, just kind of chatting through a couple things. And then the rest can kind of be done on your own. And we'll give instructions for that. Everything that we're about to talk about is specific to Collin County. So if you're in Denton County or Dallas County, their process might be a little bit different. I mean, it's going to be similar, but since we work and live in Collin County mainly, we kind of focus on that. So what I'm about to say is really for Collin County. So there are two things that you need to pay attention to when this letter arrives. It's going to hit mailboxes around April 15th, and then you have until May 15th to file a protest if you want to. So you have a full month. So when you get the letter on April 15th, you're basically going to see a market value for your home and then an assessed value for your home. And those are two different things and two very important different metrics that you need to keep in mind. So you get that letter, you look at what the market value is and the assessed value. And then if you feel like the county is saying your home is too much, meaning you're going to pay more in property taxes than you should, that's when you can give us a call and we can kind of go through this. And this gets a little confusing this time of year because people just paid their taxes like in January.
Right.
And so when they get this letter in April, they're thinking, what the heck, I just paid my taxes. But property taxes are paid in arrears, which means you pay at the end of the year. So what you just paid in January was for 2023. And the letter that's about to hit your mailbox is saying, here's what the county thinks your home is worth in 2024. That bill is not due right away. And honestly, it's not even the final number yet. This is their predicted number as of this time of year. And then the actual letter that says, here's what the county is going to really say your home is worth, that comes out in October, November, somewhere around then. And then you pay your taxes a couple months later in January. So just to clarify that. So the big thing here, like I started with, is market value versus assessed value. So if you've lived in a home for a while and you have a homestead exemption, one of the huge benefits of having a homestead exemption is that your property taxes, the amount you pay every year, should not go up by more than 10%. It should be a 10% cap, really, irregardless of the situation. That doesn't mean that your market value can't go up by 10% or higher. So if you live in $1 million home, you think, and the county all of a sudden says it's worth 1.2 on a market value perspective, that's fine. That number can go up by 20%, 30%, whatever is going on in the housing market. But the amount that you're actually assessed on, the amount that you pay off of, that should stop at a 10% cap if you have your homestead exemption. So if you're in $1 million home last year, that takes you up to 1.1 million this year if you get hit with the full 10%. So if you see a number for the assessed value that's way over 10%, I would call us immediately. That's something that really shouldn't happen. One case where that would happen if for instance, you built a really nice pool setup that wasn't there the year before, you built a barn that wasn't there the year before, you've clearly added onto your home, so you've got more square footage that the county can see, because basically every January they take a drone or a plane or a combination of both and they fly over every single home in Collin County, and they can see from the air if you've added stuff. So if you've added things to the exterior that increase the value of your home, then even though you have a homestead, they can hit you with the full 10% jump and then an additional increase for whatever you've added on the outside. So if you see that your value went up by more than 10% and you know you put a pool in, that's more than likely the reason. So,
and people can kind of get stung on new construction too, because they are assessing the value of the home at that point in time when the cutoff is. Well, by the time your home is finished, it may be worth double of what it was the first time they assessed it. So you'll get a higher tax bill. Why is this doubled since last time? That's why. It's at the stage of completion that the new construction, when that's determined.
Yep. And so really the process, you get the letter on April 15th, you look at the numbers, you say, man, I'm not sure if that's right. So you call us. We're going to send out a couple newsletters. We'll have a link on our website where you can just kind of log in and put in your information and request that one of us reach out to you, and we'll set up a time to chat with you. And then between April 15th and May 15th, we just need to sit down and talk together. One of the things that's really helpful when we have these meetings is if you know which comps the county used to come up with your value. That way we can see, is that a realistic home that's a similar square footage and age and neighborhood and all that. And there are two ways that you can gather that information. So if you just call the county's main number, you can request to get that information. You can say, hey, I live at 123 Main Street. I'd like to know the comps that were used to come up with my 2024 value. Can you send those to me? So that's one way. The second way is if you go ahead and file a protest officially, which we can tell you how to do that. There's an email address that they tell you to send an email to. It's evidence@cadcollin.org, and I assume we can put that at the bottom of the screen on this. And so if you've officially filed a protest, then you send an email to that email address, and then they just send you the comps that way too. So either you can call and try and talk to somebody in person to get it. That can be hit or miss because honestly, their phone starts ringing off the hook like crazy as soon as these letters hit. So you might be better served just filing a protest online and then sending an email to this email address, and they'll send you the comps. Then when we meet, we'll look at the comps the county used. We'll look at other comps that are available to see, hey, they use great comps, this makes sense. Or man, they use some bogus comps that really probably shouldn't have been there. Let's go ahead and see if they'll replace some of theirs with some of ours. So it's really as simple as that. And then once that's through, the county will respond to you, usually within about a week, and say, hey, your protest makes sense. We'll offer you this number instead. And at that point, you can sign off and you're good and you're done. You agree not to protest any further. Or you can say, hey, I still don't like it. That's no good. I don't accept it. And then you can go to a formal hearing where you actually go into the county and you sit in front of a member of board members, 5 people or whatever, and you state your case there. So I'd say 9 times out of 10, when people get a drop in the value just on the initial protest, just go ahead and take it, because I've never been to council myself to sit in front of the group and protest, but the people that I know that have done that, it's not very successful, I've heard. So if the county gives you a lower value on the initial protest, most people just choose to take that and be grateful and move on.
And let me say this about the county too. And I've actually went up and I talked to one of their people and just went through all the processes they go through. They have told me, and I'm pretty convinced they're not trying to gouge anybody. They're just trying to be fair. And they're not like realtors like we are. They don't go through and see, they'll see what's on the MLS, they'll see what's online, but they don't have a grasp of market values as well as we do. So I think it's worth it if you're watching your pennies and dollars. We can't say we can help you because we don't know, but we have to look at your home, look at the other homes, and then kind of like, well, if it was me, I would say that's probably not a good comp, but here's a great comp. Something like that. Support your case.
Yeah. No, I mean, I protest mine every year. I have for the past 5-6 years, whatever, since we've been doing this. And I've won almost every single year. And like you said, it's not like they give me exactly what I ask for every year, but at least it's something.
Yeah.
And honestly, the process that you go through is pretty minimal. Maybe it's 30 minutes worth of work or whatever. So if you can drop that taxable value by a couple grand and it just took you 30 minutes to do so, in my opinion, it's definitely worth it. So every year I've got people saying, hey, I want to use this comp that just sold last month. It sold in my neighborhood and it's a really, it's very similar to my home and it's way lower than the value they gave me. Let's use that. Unfortunately, we can't do that. The county has a very specific time window when these homes were sold. Once your letter comes out in April, you can't use something that just closed like the week before. It's got to be further behind. And another thing that Tom said that just kind of jogged my memory, because the county is just valuing this from the exterior, they don't know the condition of the inside of your home. If your home is in maybe it's in a neighborhood where a whole bunch of homes have been updated, but yours has not. So, you haven't done a bunch of improvements since you owned the home 20 years ago, whatever. So pictures of the interior condition are also very good to have.
Absolutely.
When you file your protest, you can upload PDFs, JPEG images, whatever. So if you think the county is interpreting your home as like this new updated product when on the inside it's really not, pictures will definitely help with that as well. And sometimes they say, throw in receipts if your roof needs to be replaced. Have a letter from a roofer saying, hey, this roof needs to be replaced. That'll help. Same thing with AC, foundation, major structural components of the home, that might help a little bit. So just keep that in mind as well.
And they deal with thousands of these every year. So again, they're not trying to hit a home run on any one person. And if you can support your case, it's reasonable, they're probably going to listen to you. I don't know anybody's ever gone and not at least knocked a little off their valuation if they've taken the time to do it.
Yeah, and there's one more piece of strategy, because these people are dealing with thousands and thousands of protests and not everybody's real nice about it. Our suggestion is be polite,
right?
be professional and cordial,
right.
and
Good
make
advice.
them want to help you. And the second thing is, my recommendation is don't wait until May the 13th.
Right.
Do it early. You've got a full 30 days. Knock it out early, because everybody in the world is going to be waiting until that last week, and that's when they're tense, and the people at the county are getting 100 calls a day, and I just think it's a lot better if you take care of it early. Yeah.
Anything else?
I mean, we covered a lot. Every year there's more questions that come up that we need to kind of clarify. So if you want to have a personal meeting, like I said, we'll be sending out a link on our website, newsletter, email blast, social media, whatever. We're going to get the word out there. So just click on the link, sign up for a time for us to meet with you, and then we'll just handle your individual situation.
Yeah. Thank you all, and give us a call if we can help.
Thank you.
So long.